Hi everybody and welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Taylor and I am a grad student at Harvard who has recently entered into the bullet journaling world. So I have a very exciting video today, and by popular demand, I am going to be doing a setup video of my new Archer and Olive notebook. So if you stick around till the end of the video, I have some discount information for you. If you would also like to get a new Archer and Olive notebook, they are super nice quality with really thick paper, so you don't have to worry about any of that bleed through or anything like that. And I honestly just love what the entire company's mission stands for. They are very open and supportive of mental health and wellness and creativity and all these lovely things that I preach on my channel all the time. So I'm super excited to open my very first Archer and Olive notebook and set it up for 2021. So I am a smidge late to this, but I realized that my current bullet journal wasn't going to last me through even the first quarter of 2021. And so just for ease of keeping things more together and more chronological, I'm just switching to a brand new one. And so I'm super excited. I haven't even opened the box yet, and I will go and do that with you guys. So let's get into it. So opening my new notebook, it was so beautiful. The pages are like a perfect white. My old bullet journal, they were kind of off-white, but all the pages are super thick. There's that pocket in the back for storing any extra pieces of scraps or pictures or stickers or anything. And then they have two different ribbon bookmarks, one with this really cute charm at the bottom of it. So I'm definitely gonna be using those to mark two different places in my journal. And then just this rite of passage of writing your name in a brand new notebook, it just is the best feeling. And I also wrote my Instagram handle here at @momentsandmed, just in case you aren't following me yet. And then this first page is a new page for me in my bullet journal. So it is a grid spacing guide, and I saw this from Amanda Rach Lee, but there are definitely a lot of people who use this spread. So I'm doing it on this side of the page so that it's easier to reference as I'm using my notebook. And basically all it is counting and numbering all of the grid spacings on the dot grid notebook, counting how many there are both horizontally and vertically, and then separating those numbers into common denominations, common separations that you might use. So I'm marking off thirds and fourths, and I'm doing all of that both horizontally and vertically, and some with spaces, some without spaces. And then I'm even adding a denomination for how many blocks it is for sevens for when I do monthly calendar spreads, knowing how many boxes each day should be basically. And so I'm marking all of those off on here as well for easy reference as I'm using my notebook. And I'm trying out this new kind of typeface font throughout my beginning spreads, so we're gonna see how it goes, but I think it's kind of cute. And then I'm just adding a little space for a key. I don't know if I'll actually go back and end up using it, just because I pretty much know what different symbols and things that I like to use throughout my notebook, but just in case I come up with something new and exciting. And then in my previous bullet journal, I didn't use my index too often. I definitely didn't refer to it, and then I would really forget to update it since I didn't refer to it. So I'm just adding one little page for index just in case I decide I want to use it. And then we're moving on to the future log spread, and honestly half of this video is basically just me troubleshooting how to fix this spread, because I ended up not liking so many different ways that I did it. So you can see here I didn't like the way that my writing looked there, so I was thinking about doing the whole cute little paper bag cutout thing on top, and then I decided I wasn't really feeling that, and so then I'm going over and just coloring over it because I got these new white markers, and I've seen a lot of bullet journal people do the really cute white on black but the black marker that I was using wasn't very good for being written over, if that makes sense. The white just wasn't popping as much as I would like it to. So then I moved on to my next troubleshooting idea, which was to basically do like mini pages within the pages, if that makes sense. You'll see in a second. And then I was able to just sort of glue the top piece over top of the top piece of the next page over top of the messed up first page. And so I'm cutting out little tabs on these little pages. And so basically I'm going to do 4 months on each little spread, each little tiny pages. But first I'm redoing my title now for the 3rd time. I don't know, count and let me know if this was actually the 3rd time. It was definitely a lot though. And so now I finally got it down that I can do the white on black because I used a Sharpie instead. The Sharpie does bleed through just the tiniest bit, even though these pages are super, super thick. Something about the Sharpie just doesn't mix well, but because I had the double pages taped over, then I was able to do the Sharpie and not see it on the other page. So I started off with these really colorful tabs that match the colors that I used for my grid spacing guide. And then I'm going through and I'm making these spots for all 4 on each page, so 12 total months, obviously, for the sort of future log. And then I was going through and doing the first 4 months, and I did these like cute kind of more pastel-y colors, and wrote out all 4 of those months, and then just kind of, as I was writing the next 4 months, I kind of realized that I wanted to do things a little bit more monochromatically, because it just, I don't know, it didn't feel like it really went with the style of the rest of my pages to do such bright colors, especially considering that the colors on that first page don't match the bright colors of the tabs. So I went back and I basically copied how I did my monthly year at a glance in my last bullet journal. And then I went back and troubleshooted some more and used some extra paper scraps to just tape over those first 4 months and colored my tabs over black because there were so many different things that ended up going wrong on this page. But it is definitely a great lesson in troubleshooting and fixing mistakes in a bullet journal. And that's something that bullet journals have actually taught me a lot of, is learning to accept flaws and mistakes and troubleshoot and critical think and figure out how to fix them. So I was really happy with how it turned out in the end. And so on the next page, since I did have that little bit of bleed through from that Sharpie line, then I just copied it through the other side so you can't notice that there's the bleed through basically. And then I made all of my boxes for my yearly goals. So I recently made a video about goal setting, so definitely check that out. I'll link it up in the corner. And basically I separate my goals into 7 different categories. Again, I talk about that more in my other video, but I have made out all the boxes for my broad yearly goals on the left side, and then I'm making 4 little boxes on the other side for my quarterly goals. And here we're going to take a moment of silence for the fact that my camera died, and all of these pages that you're seeing right now did not get filmed while I was making them, so I'm really sorry about that, guys. I was devastated when I found out that it had only recorded up to my goals. But here we are, starting again with my Moments in Med tracker sheet, basically. So I have a little graph to keep track of followers and subscribers, so definitely don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. And then I have a space down at the bottom for tracking my monetization and affiliation. So that first one that you see written under affiliates is my Archer and Olive affiliation that I recently got and I'm super, super excited about, and you can use my code to get 10% off. I'll talk about that code again at the end of the video, just in case you missed it. And then I just have a really broad open space for some content ideas and a place to check off if I've done them. And then I have my medical school spread, basically. So I have a timeline on one side of everything that needs to get done to apply to medical school. So I've marked 2 main areas for the next year. So I have a timeline of the whole year, and I have a spot marking when I'll take my MCAT exam and a spot marking when I'll actually apply. And then down the left side of the page, I have all of the to-do tasks for my application, and on the right side, I have a list, I have a space open to list out the different schools that I applied to. And then I make out my spring semester spread, and so I did this for fall as well in my last bullet journal, and I referred to it so frequently. This might be a great place for my second bookmark to go. But basically I just make out what my class schedule is like for the week, and then I leave a space for different syllabus type information, like what's being covered and all of that. And then finally, we're getting to the actual January setup. I did just a brief little January setup in this video just to show you guys how I set up for January, since now it's the end of January, but c'est la vie. And I basically am just copying how I had done this in my previous bullet journal, and so now you guys get to see. And I just made a little 2021 page next to my January cover page, and I got the inspiration from the January theme that you're gonna see in a minute from Amanda Rach Lee again. And this little 2021 spread I just found random inspiration on Pinterest for, but I ended up really liking it with all the little stars and all that kind of stuff. I thought it looked super cute. And so this January theme that, like I said, was inspired by Amanda Rach Lee is the cranes, which I just really loved the idea behind this spread, and I thought the cranes looked super cute. So this is what I did for January in my last bullet journal, and I just kind of copied that over for this year. And I added a little bit of blue and gray accents just because I like the blue with January, because it likes snow and snowflakes and that kind of stuff. Even if there is no snowflake, I still just think that the blue just feels very wintry and January-y. So I am making my monthly spread for January, and having the grid spacing at the front was super helpful to remind me how many spaces each day got. And I'm adding a few extra little crane details just to carry that through onto here. And then below the calendar, I leave myself spaces for my goals and for the following month. And I separate my goals into physical, mental, and emotional goals. And then I basically track how I'm doing on those goals day to day on my tracker spread on the other side. So I highlight the weekend days in gray just to help keep track of the different weeks. And then I write some goals. I only wrote a few for January. And then just to end with a quick flip through, there is obviously that grid spacing and index page, and then the year at a glance, and then goals, ideal day, health tracker, wish list for my apartment, cleaning schedule, finances, book list, and movie and TV list. And then we're back to that Moments in Med spread, my med school timeline, spring semester, and January 2021. Overall, I was super happy with my new Archer and Olive notebook, and I hope all of you are too. So that's it. That is my basic bullet journal setup. Like I said, I'm new to this. This is only the second bullet journal that I have set up, but I am really loving the entire process, and it helps me have a creative outlet and everything like that. So I hope you've enjoyed watching me set up my Archer and Olive notebook. And if you would like to get yourself your own Archer and Olive notebook, then you can use my discount code, which is MomentsInMed10, and I'll also link that down below. And happy planning. Definitely follow me on Instagram to see any updates on weekly spreads or things like that if you're interested in that, and subscribe to see future videos. See you guys next time.